Parenting is no joke, especially during quarantine. I have 2 kids. I know that you have 5. So how are you
Ooh.
holding up?
Pretty good. We got these little chains that we put around our ankle, and then you just tie them up to the beds and stuff. It works out great. It's pretty cool. You just can't let any pictures leak out because people get upset about that stuff. So,
So true. I can't help but think, the shelter at home shared experience is gotta provide so much material for, future shows. Do you think that something is funny when it's happening, or does it take some time and then you look back and you're like, that's gonna get a laugh?
I think it's funny immediately, but most people who would listen to it probably won't. So I have to wait until they're prepared for what might be funny. So probably another, I would say, with regards to the virus, probably got another 20 days or so, and then it's start being hilarious.
Well, I'm a big fan. I've gotten a chance to see you live when you came to San
Oh, cool.
Diego and seen your
Oh.
stuff online. So I was really excited to hear when that Selfie Dad was coming out. This is your new film. So kind of set it up for us.
So Selfie Dad is a film about a dad. It's about this dad who doesn't really, he knows how to be a dad, but he doesn't understand the why behind being a dad yet. So he's caught up in himself, and then he used to be funny. He used to do stand-up comedy, and then, but he's kind of going through like a almost midlife crisis type of thing, and he just kind of loses his way. And then a friend says, "Hey, you should probably try reading this book I got." And it's like, I ain't gonna be reading a book or whatever. So he actually takes this journey where he kind of starts to understand what's really important, and he makes some really cool adjustments. My favorite part really about this film isn't the fact that it's not even a comedy film, but because they brought me into it, we were able to create a lot of comedy in the midst of it. And the really cool thing about the producers and the directors is this film, a lot of it end up being improv,
Hmm.
meaning on the spot we created not comedic improv so much, but really story improv. On the spot, we were able to come up with different scenarios that really brought the story to life.
While it is Selfie Dad and it's this dad going, kind of through this self-reflection and kind of figuring out who he wants to be and what his calling is and what it means to be a dad, I feel like there's takeaways for everyone in the family that's watching it,
Oh,
especially now during a time where you're kind of forced to have that quiet and think, what do I want to do with my life? How do I want my family to look? Maybe speak a little bit along those lines.
yeah, I think it's important. One of the big things that is a huge takeaway from this for myself as well is in the story, the dad reads the Bible. Starts reading the word because somebody recommended it, and he wasn't really into the Bible before. He was just like, he went to church, but he was like, whatever. But then when he starts reading it, like, it gets into his heart, and then it starts to become revealed in his walk. And here's the thing: he didn't even have to necessarily do anything. It just started showing up, which is the truth in real life. When you Whatever you put in your heart is going to show up in your walk. I've learned that in a significant way. So once I started putting the word in my heart, my walk started looking differently. So the same thing happens in this movie. It just happens to happen in an entertaining way that's also very tangible, in a way that I think not just dads, but daughters and moms and sons will really be able to take a hold of this and run in a cool way too. And it really deals with the fact that it's true. Like, kids don't want to always sit around and listen to the Bible. Like, that stuff is boring. Like, it feels boring. It feels like, I gotta read, I don't understand it. This is the weirdest thing ever. I know I felt that way when I was a kid. Going to church was miserable. Dude is up on stage yelling at people. He got some phlegm in his throat. He's trying to get out. The Lord, like, dude, what in the world are you talking? So we purposely made this film so it wasn't all religion, but it was just really about the story. And because I got to be in it, we got to add some funny to it. So I think people are going to get a lot out of it.